Hello! Either it's been a long time since you saw me, or you saw me recently because I actually recorded two YouTube videos back to back. Don't know which one I'm going to do first. First one was pretty rambly. It was me opening up PR and a bunch of other stuff too. So, just to give you a sum up in case I do use this one first, as you can see, I am still alive. I'm still in my kitchen. My office, library, creator space is still a mess. 2026 has been a mess. My health and my husband's health are still just as crappy as ever. My mother's health has become a bit of an issue as well, so that's been taking up more of my time. My dog Koopa has this paw thing going on, and he's in a cone, and is the most annoying thing ever. And oh my god, I just want it over with, but I keep getting a cone whapped into me instead. And my pit bull, Sarah the pit bull, she has got kidney disease, but fortunately, we're not seeing too many signs of that. It hasn't really been affecting her health as of yet, other than occasionally she'll be a little like less hungry than usual. So all of that's going on, along with all of 2026 going on globally. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I said, slightly more concisely in the other video. Not sure again which one's going first. As per usual, crappy setup, no editing skills, blah, 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 you know the drill. And also, hi, I'm Rebecca. I am the publisher and primary writer of the Magical Buffet website. So that's that. Then, one of these days, if I did more videos, I'd have a better way to do an intro. But today, if you watch the previous video, if I publish it first, the other video I mentioned that I'm recording back to back, and that I wasn't sure I would find I had a catalyst for doing the video I'm doing today, but that I had misplaced it. It was sitting right in front of me the whole time. Like literally while I was recording that video, it was like right there. Right there. So this is kind of me, this is basically me cleaning my altar and talking it through with you while I'm doing it. I don't know about you. I'm always very curious about people's altar setups. And I get that for some people, it is a very private thing, either because of spiritual or religious reasons, or, because of discrimination reasons, or, there's a myriad of reasons, just like there's a myriad of ways to have altars. But I'm always curious about people that are willing to share as to what's there, why it's there, etc., etc. And so what happened was I got this a while ago, and I had been keeping it on my bedside, but recently I decided that I wanted to move it to my altar because I have a little bowl on my altar, which was the thing that really made me. I want to add this to the bowl of things. And I know people are frequently, if they see a picture of my altar, they're like, hey, you have this bowl of stuff. What's in that stuff? What is that stuff? So I figured that since I wanted to clean this and put it in with the other things, and I hadn't cleaned my altar in a while, Bob's your uncle. Now you know why we're here. All because I wanted to move this from bedside to my altar. So what I have here are a couple of soft cloths that are in now probably more cold than lukewarm water, and a little bit of salt. Be very careful what you use to clean things, obviously, because some minerals and such are not safe to wipe down with salty water or Clorox wipes or water in general. It's why there's lots of ways to cleanse. But I think almost everything I'm doing today, this is going to work fine for. So, water to get the dust off, salt to help kind of purify and get the gunk off. So my altar, without really kind of meaning to, kind of became like almost the shrine to misunderstood women. It's a very divine feminine corner. My husband does not mind. What can I say? He's a man that's secure enough to drink a pink cocktail with an umbrella. He's fine that there's a divine feminine shrine in the corner of his living room. So first up, and I'm going to wipe down as well. So this is my Kuan Yin statue. I have a lot of Kuan Yin statues. I am a big Kuan Yin girl. And what's awesome about Kuan Yin is that she's not judgy. Like, you can worship whoever the heck else you want. She don't care. She's compassionate. If you need her, she will be there. And so sometimes I'll swap out the Kuan Yin statues when I clean. This time, because I'm really just kind of I'm just trying to hold it together. I'm not going to worry about trying to set up a whole new aesthetic. But just know that this is one of many of beautiful Kuan Yin statues I have of various sizes and materials. I do like this one just because with her being in this white, it is a little different from the other statues I have. So I do kind of like it. And also its size is similar to a lot of them. So we've got, Kuan Yin, and she's been wiped down a little bit. Next, this is funny. So this was actually a gift for my husband. And I claimed it for my shrine altar in the name of Medusa. And he was fine with that. He was fine with that. Because he was kind of like, I mean, it's cool, but also, why did I get this? So she lives on the altar with the other ladies, and she is my representation of Medusa, who, as we all know, is just as much a victim of the patriarchy as anyone else. So that's the only Medusa statue type thing that I have. So I have no yeah, I think almost all the other deities, I have no choice. These are the ones I've got. I don't have multiples. Because statuary is kind of expensive. And so I keep wanting to, like, I don't want to say upgrade because I love what I've got. But, especially for some of them, you'll see they're so small, I'd like to do more. All right, so this one actually I could do with some public thought. So this is my Santa Muerte. And as you can see, my husband bought this one for me, which I thought was super sweet of him. And she is cloaked in the white of wisdom, which I also love, with the owl of wisdom. But one of the times when I see this, these come off. And so one of the times when I was cleaning, it fell off and I couldn't find it. And so it's not an even scale anymore. So here's the thing, is that I told my husband that I wouldn't mind if he got me another one. That either hopefully the scale doesn't have a scale, or if it does, it's more firmly intact. But if I get another one to replace on the altar, what do I do with the one that's kind of like not quite right? Currently, so my husband and I've devoted a lot of time and thought to this. I care about my goddesses. And so I was like, should I give this one like a burial in the backyard? Also thought about just kind of moving this one to my study workspace and then having whatever the new one is down there. Dr. Andrew Chestnut, help me out. What do people do with old Santa Muertes? But yeah, so you know what? If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. But yeah, I don't want to just put her in a garbage bag. You know what I'm saying? She's my girl. I don't want to do that. So here's where I was talking about how I'd like to get some larger ones. So I have Kali on my altar, but it's just this kind of baby Kali. And traditionally, it's probably not good. They say traditionally Kali doesn't like to share altar and shrine space with others. And so I have her sharing space, and on top of it, she is, I think, the smallest deity representation in size. So I keep wanting to get like a larger one. But again, like I said, statuary is kind of expensive. And also, it's one of those things where it's like, I always think I'll find something I like more. And so I just assume at some point I'll find like the one. So that's my Kali. And then this last one, it was really hard to find statues of. So my husband found a company that does that like 3D engraving kind of thing. If you can see this, this is my Pandora, which, as we know, in this household, Pandora was framed. But I always wanted a Pandora statue, and apparently she's not big enough of a name, I guess. I don't know. But my husband, it was nice. My husband found this online where it's got the like 3D thing, and which is nice, easy to clean as well, as you just saw. And it actually came with a keychain that I carry with me that's like a little miniature version of that. And before the battery died, it had a light that it would go beep. So those are the deity representations that I have on my altar. I also keep a generic white candle that I didn't bother bringing out here because I'm not cleaning that. Just like I also didn't try to move my laptop so you could watch me clean everything. So the other thing that I keep is I always keep sage over there. And well, I always keep something to burn for smoke cleansing. In this case, I do have a nice sage bundle. And I use my sage that shit mug that I sold on Cafe Press a while ago. So that was that. So now we're at like I said, the thing that got the ball in motion. So I've got this. So for a while they would just sit loose, but I ended up with like a bunch of little magical tchotchke type things that I wanted on my altar, and it just got annoying to have to keep moving them around. So I got this really nice glass dish that I'd been given, and then I just put the stuff in. I don't worry about aesthetics. The shrine is for me and my ladies. I don't, it's not like I'm doing Instagram content or something with it. So the first thing that I'm going to drop in is the thing I wiped down at the beginning, which is my eye. I just thought maybe it would be there'd be more energy if I put it with my other little like kind of protective luck tchotchke type things with my goddesses. Because like I said, this year's been real bad, all right? I need all the help I can get. Another thing that I keep in there is, in fact, one of the only other representations that I have of Medusa. My friend and author Deborah Blake is just really sweet to me, and so she found this and immediately thought of me. Although I'm happy to see now that Medusa is becoming a lot more revered in magical and divine feminine communities. But for a while, it was kind of like, oh, I see Medusa, I think of Rebecca, because I was very open about my love. But at the same time, because of what it is, it's not equipped to hang on anything. It doesn't stand up on its own. So for better or worse, I just put her in the jar with my other things. And as long as I'm talking about Deborah Blake, she sent this to me not too long ago, and I'm so blessed and happy. So this is a holy stone. And those of you who don't know, and this one, because I'm not sure, I'm just going to dab very gently with this damp cloth. Stones that have naturally made holes in them are incredibly lucky. And she said that she was at the beach and she found a couple of stones. And so she was nice enough to send one to me, which is why, because she found it on the beach, I felt safe patting it down with water, but I wouldn't risk like running it underwater or anything. But I keep that in there. And you can't really tell anymore, the poor thing is so old. When I started making talismans for my Etsy store, when we first moved here, I was finding 4-leaf clovers all the time, just all the time. I finally sold out of them. I would press them and turn them into talismans. I sold them all through Etsy and or given them away as gifts. But when I was doing it, I also found a natural 5-leaf clover. And so my husband and I determined that 5-leaf must be even luckier than 4. So I pressed it and I affixed it to my stone talisman. But as you can see, I didn't do a good enough job sealing it in. And so over time, some of the leaves have peeled off. But I figure the stone knows it was a 5-leaf clover attached to it, that the luck is still in the stone regardless of what's happening with it. So I just kept it, and I just kept it like this, regardless of it looking now more like a 1.5-leaf clover if I'm lucky. And the last thing is very gimmicky, and for all I know, no good. But as the year of the horse approached, I saw online these little like talisman cards that are supposed to provide you luck, protection, and health throughout the entire year of the horse. So I gave one to my mom, who I'm sure at this point has lost it. I gave one to my husband, who I'm pretty sure keeps it in his wallet. I sent one to Deborah Blake because, she sent me all this great stuff that I keep on my altar. And then I had one, and at first I wasn't sure what to do with it. And then I decided that I would just tuck it into the bowl that I keep everything else in, so that hopefully there's some sort of luck, protection, health, synergy, magic happening in this bowl that's going to make everything better, but hasn't yet. So that's what's in the, when you see photos of my altar and you see a little bowl, that's what's in the bowl. Those are who the statues are. Before I started this video, I wiped down the table, so when I'm done I can just move all the stuff back over and it'll be all pretty. I hope you found that kind of interesting. Like I said, I'm always nosy about other people's stuff. If you have any useful suggestions, especially about the Santa Muerte, if you have any good resources for good like goddess statuary, also share it down below, because one day I will have money again, and when I do, I will shop. See, and other than that, I suggest that if you found this fun, that you subscribe, but that you also hit the notification bell, because I put out videos so infrequently that there's no way you're going to be reminded, and the algorithm is never going to feed you my content on its own. So you're going to need that. But I appreciate all your support. I hope that you're having a better 2026 than I am. If you're having the same 2026 that I am, I hope that yours gets better, and I will accept any prayers, thoughts, good energy vibes, whatever you want to send my way for my 2026 to get better. Also, we'll take that. And with that, I will see you next time.